Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a shadow reading for the collective energy. Take it how it resonates and don't force it to fit if it's not your story. Okay. This card is here because I was going to start off with the shadow cards to get the overall energy, but then my spirit guides told me to pull this card instead. So this is the Hermit with the vice versa deck on the shadow side, right? This card talks about something being hidden under the surface and something being revealed and brought to the light, right? From the book's perspective, it says there's a lot going on under the surface and secrets are starting to emerge. Some are things you have hidden from yourself and can no longer avoid. If you don't seek deepening experiences, they sometimes will come and find you, as the moon crab and the moon dogs have here. There are people who can live their lives without the pursuit of wisdom, but this card tells you that you're not one of them. So you're not like everyone else. You can't do what everybody else does because you're different, right? And when you try to avoid doing whatever you're called to do, you don't avoid it by not getting in, like, investing into it or looking into it. You don't avoid the situation, you look into it more. So it's like whatever's going on under the surface, whatever secrets are starting to emerge, or emotions for some of you, these things have been hidden from yourself for a long time, and someone has been avoiding doing their shadow work, right? I have a card that I wrote that states, you cannot escape this reality without doing your shadow work. There's no other way through this or out of this reality or this situation without doing the shadow work. So when it says that you're not the one that's not doing the shadow work, it's talking about there's someone else in your energy that is not doing the shadow work. And if you are the one that they're talking about that's not doing shadow work, you need to start doing the shadow work, because you have to do the shadow work in order to spiritually grow and evolve, right? So whatever this is, whoever this is for you. Take it how it resonates. So let's clarify the shadow work energy that needs to be done here, or who needs to do the shadow work in this reading. Take it how it resonates. Don't force it to fit if it's not your story. The moon dog and the crab dog are spirit guides, and so is this other energy. This could also represent the light and the dark. This can also represent good and evil. Take it how it resonates. These are the shadow moon dogs. This is the crab moon. Whatever that means, Cancer could be significant, but let's just take it how it resonates. Before I pull the shadow cards, I want to pull some index cards and see what comes out, I think. Clarify the Hermit on the shadow side. Why is this here for the collective? Again, this is a shadow reading for the collective energy. Take it how it resonates and don't force anything to fit that is not your story. The roles can be reversed in this message. Okay, take it how it resonates. What's this Hermit on the shadow side in regards to regarding this message? I can't make it up. You cannot get out of this reality without doing the spiritual work. Part of the spiritual work is doing the shadow work. Everyone has to go through a spiritual journey without their ego, which is edging God out. Okay, take it how it resonates. That's all I wanted to see. Okay. So this is for someone who hasn't done their shadow work, who's avoiding doing the shadow work, hoping that by avoiding doing the shadow work, they don't have to go through an ego death. But in order to transcend, to evolve, or to grow spiritually, you have to do that without your ego. You have to get rid of the ego and go through your spiritual awakening and your ego death. Okay, you cannot escape this reality without doing the spiritual work. What kind of shadow work needs to be done for this collective energy that I'm channeling for today? We have the triumph of lies. What's the shadow work that's being highlighted? What's the shadow work that you're trying to highlight for this collective reading? I have 3 cards that came out. I have the Black Flower Fragrance card, number 16, Alone in the World card, number 6, and Naked Before the Stars. This is giving somebody here needs to do some inner work. Somebody here needs to go in hermit mode, go within, and do some inner work on themselves to release whatever this energy is. All right, take it out, resonates. Anything else? Somebody here also needs to heal their inner child. So someone's shadow work is shadow work that regards healing your inner child, going within and removing negative energy from inside of yourself, or getting away from somebody here needs to just get away from everything and everybody and go within and do their shadow work. It looks like the type of work you need to do has something to do with your heart chakra or your sacral chakra. Something is not connected when it comes to your heart and your sacral energy. There's some type of disconnection, or does a disconnect between your higher self and your lower self. So to merge the two energies together, to bring the light and dark energy together, let me read that again from the book. Hold on, because it said something about merging. You have to merge the light and dark energy together. You have to I don't know. Let's look at some of this from the book. What's this triumph of lies talking about? Somebody got to be honest with themselves. Somebody's not being honest about something. They're trying to cover up something or hide something or not. The phase of this moon in this card says the bargaining moon, the stage of bargaining. If something hurts me, I change myself so it can stop. This is a headless mannequin, crowd against each other under a cold neon light, and they're dressed in a luxury robe and pricey accessories. Among them, one has a crowned skull floating where her face was supposed to be. This is an image of 3 energies, like mannequins with no heads. You may not be able to see it, but there's 3 mannequins here with no heads. And then there's somebody here with a crown above their head that's either being controlled or manipulated or deceived or misguided or something like that, right? This is giving dark night of the soul energy. Okay, take it how it resonates. The visual is the visual I just described. The sentence says that not all that glitter is gold. Emptiness is felt when there is nothing under the dress. So somebody here could feel empty inside or something like that. The triumph of lies is about appearances. And appearances is always so important in the world. Day by day it seems more important. Can that be a lie too? We seek to be what the world outside desires and not necessarily society at large. Our family, our patterns, our friends place judgments on what we should be. In the dress we choose, we carve a mask of expectations, behaviors, and values to live by. It offers stability to ourselves and to our relations, as being honest and true to ourselves can be too tiring, too easy to make us hurt. Unfortunately, the relationship with our mask is not as straightforward as it feels. Inside the mask, envy grows and vanity takes root. Lack of self-confidence becomes a habit. It gnaws at us and hurts us from the inside. It feels like it is ourselves, but it's not really authentic. It is just a lie we have made habit to believe in. When our lives become a gilded cage and our dress becomes a burden, we should remember that we were born naked, naked before the stars. So we were born naked before the stars from our mother's womb. And when we were born into this reality, we lost memory of who we were. So in order to reconnect to who we were before we were born into this reality, we have to connect back to our higher self, our source. We have to get back to our original self, right? Because in the world, all of us have to wear illusions. We have to appear to people to be something we're really not. When you get up and you get dressed to go to work, if you didn't have to get up every day and go to work, you wouldn't get up and get dressed every day. It's like we have to do things the way we do them because the world that we live in is all created or based on how we look or how we feel about ourselves. So when you're trying to do your shadow work, you have to realize that the person who you created yourself to be is not who you really are. So part of doing the shadow work reveals to us who we truly are from the inside out, not from the outside in, not how the world sees us, but how we see ourselves. So the shadow work is a part of the process to connect us back to ourselves, to bring us in connection with our source, with our guides, to help lead us on our journeys. If you don't have that connection to your higher self, then your spirit guides can't connect to you and show you how to navigate on this journey. You see what I'm saying? So the shadow work is a part of the process of finding who you are. Because when you don't know who you are, then you can't be yourself, right? So take that how it resonates. I'm not trying to be all deep and philosophical, but that's kind of what I'm getting with this. So it's time to strip away all the illusions, all of the fantasies, all of the fakeness, all of the authentic energy around you, and strip yourself down to pretty much nothing. Somebody's being stripped and everything is being taken away from them to bring them, to humble them. Somebody here needs to be humbled. They're not very humble. They're very arrogant. Take that how it resonates. Let's clarify this energy. I want to look at this this colorless angel energy. Card number 10. This card is the phase, the quarter moon phase. The stage of this moon is denial, okay? Somebody's in denial about who they truly are or what they are or what they want to be. Take it how it resonates. It says, it is better not to feel rather than to feel pain. So somebody here could be numbing their feelings. Take it how it resonates. The description of this card says, a dark horse prints proudly in the background, unnoticed by a man kneeling upon a pond. He wears a crown of myth. His facial expressions less behind him. His wings of smoke and bones grow or disappear. So this is a fallen angel who's lost their wings. And they're not proud of themselves. And in the background, there's another energy that appears from the ashes or the smoke behind this person. The sentence says that apathy is the crowned king of nothingness and the shining queen of whatever. So apathy is the crowned king of nothingness and the shining queen of whatever. This could be a masculine or a feminine energy. If it's a masculine, he has no apathy. His crown is a crown of nothing. If it's a feminine, she is a queen that says or shines whatever or does whatever. The going dark message says that we can be siphoned or don't know what this word is. It's spelled S-I-E-G-F-R-I-D. Suffrage. I don't know what that means. But it says the dragon slaying hero. We can be, this must be a name of someone, or the name of the energy behind this person, the angel behind this person. That's the name of the angel. That's their name. Their name is S-I-E-G-F-R-I-D. Take it how it resonates. You can be that angel, the dragon slaying hero, but in this case, somebody here was not the hero. So, but not when he slays the dragon, nor when he is betrayed or dies, but when he simply does nothing. This is Archangel Michael. Let me read it correctly. We can be the name of this angel, the dragon slaying hero, but not when he slays the dragon, nor when he is betrayed and dies, but when he's simply doing nothing. We can be Michael, the archangel, while he waits bored and motionless, and Saint George, surprised in a moment of stillness and nothingness. All the strong rivers can become a swamp when they reach the plains. And the most yummy food can become gummy after a couple of hours unattained on a table. There's a lot of darkness when we make the habit of going gray. We numb our senses with the fog of delays. And when we just get indifferent to the fog herself, I am here. We whisper, and if by a very tiny chance someone notices and replies and asks who's there, we become shy and we stay silent a little more. You cannot be saved unless you face the dragon, and the dragon hurts. Of course it does. So this is somebody who's afraid to face their own fears, their own darkness, their own shadow. And it's like by being afraid to face their own fears or own shadow, they have themselves trapped in a place of darkness where they can't seem to get out. But there is a way through this dark energy. But the way through this energy is to persevere through this and not give up. So when you feel like you're alone by yourself, you're not. You're surrounded by spirit guides and ancestors who want to help you. But when you don't call on them for help, they can't assist you on your journey. To make the connection to your guides, your spirit guides or ancestors, you got to go within and you got to feel your emotions. You got to call them in. They can't do this work without you, and vice versa. You can't do it without them. Take it how it resonates. So this may be another energy that doesn't know how to connect to their higher self, or afraid to connect to their higher self, because in order to connect to your higher self, you got to first go within. And when you go within, that's where all the darkness is, all the trauma is, and all the pain is. And when you go within and you start to feel the pain or the trauma from the pain, you check out, you disappear, you fade away. You run, you hide. Well, you can't keep running and you can't keep hiding from yourself. Eventually, you're going to have to face yourself in the mirror. And you may not like what you see. But at the same time, what you see is what you are. Take it how it resonates. Artificial heart. Fragmentations. Hiding your true self. You got to stop hiding yourself. You cannot run from your shadow. Forgetting oneself. Obsession. Anger. Bound. Chain. Masquerade. Mask. Pretending. Faking. Fated to suffer. No peace for the wicked. No rest for the wicked. Seeking revenge on what? For what? What's happening to you? So somebody here is going through a lot, like the card said, right? When you get to this stage of your journey, there's a lot going on under the surface, and secrets are being revealed. Things will start to emerge. Some are things you've hidden from yourself and can only be avoided. If you don't seek deep in experiences, they sometimes will come and find you, as the moon crab and or as the dogs have. There are people who can live their lives without their pursuit of wisdom, but some people can't, and you are one of them. So whoever you are, you can't hide from this. You got to face this energy. You have to do your shadow work. Let's clarify the Hermit. Shadow work. High Priestess on the shadow side. Somebody here could be doing a lot of dark work. What's the energy? Five of Wands, inner conflict. Fighting with the angel of death. What's the energy around this message? The Ace of Swords wants to pop out. This is truth and clarity. Somebody needs to hear this message. Take it how it resonates. We got the Five of Cups on the shadow side. We got the Star card on the shadow side. Somebody here is not doing the shadow work, the inner work they need to heal from whatever this is. Somebody's fighting or resisting the changes they need to go through in order for this change to come in. We got the Empress on the shadow side. We got the Knight of Swords. All of these shadow cards is clarifying that someone here is not in their, I want to say, their right mind at this time. We have the King of Swords. Archangel Michael could be relevant as well. The Six of Pentacles on the shadow side. Somebody is fighting a losing battle here. You're fighting a losing battle here. You're not going to be able to win this battle on your own. You're going to need help to be able to do whatever this is you got to do. And whatever this is you need to do, you need to do it fast. You need to do it fast. We got the Devil on the shadow side. I mean, I don't know. I'm about to read all this from the book. If you don't like for me to read from the book, then this, do whatever you got to do here. But this is someone's reading. They need to hear the message. It needs to be clear and easily understood. So to make it clear, I'm going to read it from the fucking book. Okay? The Five of Wands is not on the shadow side. So this is somebody who here needs to stop running from themselves and face themselves in the mirror and do what you got to do here to defeat whatever this is you need to defeat in order for you to have victory and success in your future. Okay? This book is really messed up, but we're going to go with the flow. The Five of Wands from the book on this side says, when you get this card, if there is conflict happening, don't take it too seriously. One or more of the participants may merely be going through the motions to keep in practice, or they may just like to fight. Healthy competition is good for honoring skills in the workplace, in art, and in sport, and so on. But the key word is healthy. At the end of the day, part as friends. So somebody can choose peace or they can choose violence. Okay? Looks like somebody here wants to choose violence over peace. This could be you. This could be them. But if you choose violence over peace, when peace is being offered to you, then you're only going to make this more difficult for yourself. There's an easy way and there's a hard way, okay? Take it how it resonates. But there is no other way, okay? Take it how it resonates. So since I came to the Devil first, I'm going to read the Devil on the shadow side. The Devil on the shadow side says, the meaning is much the same as the other side, with the added message that the Devil's attention is elsewhere for the moment, so you have a better chance of making your escape. So seize the hope that rises before you. So again, There's help out there for you if you want it. But to get the help you need, you got to be willing to fight for what you want. While the devil's being distracted with something else, or while the enemy is not looking, now is your time to escape whatever this is you're going through, right? Take it how it resonates. The High Priestess on the shadow side. Talks about you've passed through a challenging initiation task and have been admitted into the inner temple. Take some time to reflect upon what you have recently learned. Sit with any fear until it dissolves away. The two keys of knowledge are now yours for the taking. The gold key of worldly matters and the silver key of mystical matters. You have proven yourself worthy of the mysteries. So, shadow work, when it's done correctly, after you've done it successfully, gives you access to more gifts and or more power. Because once you reach a certain level of consciousness, your sense of awareness will be heightened. Because when you have reached a certain level of consciousness, the enemy will seek to destroy you even more than before. Because now you have more power that it can access from you. Right? And the power you have access to is power they want to have as well. But they have no access to this source of energy. You do. So when you have access to this type of power or access to this type of energy, it is your responsibility to use this energy wisely, okay? To not harm yourself or others. You have to master your gifts in order to be able to use your gifts accordingly, okay? Take that how it resonates. The Five of Cups on the shadow side represents someone turning back by the wisest choice under the circumstances. The red rose signifies that love is near, waiting for you to turn back to it. This might mean reviving an old connection with a loved one, or it could be a conscious return to a happier state of mind, okay, with yourself, okay? So pick up the two chalices and consider with whom you want to share them with. So in this Five of Cups on the shadow side, there's two cups behind you that you don't see. You can either pick up these two remaining cups that you still have High Priestess energy. Take these two cups and do with them as you will. You can share them with someone else if you choose to, or you can keep this energy for yourself, okay? Whatever you decide to do, though, with this energy, make sure you're making a wise choice with this, okay? Because if you give this cup to the wrong person, you may be setting yourself up for a situation, okay? Take it how it resonates. So choose wisely. The Star card on the shadow side. I feel like Spirit supports your decision no matter what you decide to do in this moment, because they're here to support you, not choose for you, but to support your decision. So whatever choice you decide to make in this given moment, whatever you decide to do right now, is going to be supported by your ancestors and or your spirit guides. If you decide you want to take action and seek revenge on this mother sucker, then they're going to support you across all the way. If you decide to let it go and let God deal with this person, they're going to support you either way. So whatever you with, they with. If you with the shits, they with the shits. If you want to fight and argue and go back and forth, they're with the shits too. So whatever you decide to do in this moment is going to be up to you. But know that you have support from your ancestors no matter what you decide to do here. Take it how it resonates. Okay? Let's move on. The Star card is card number 17. 17 could be significant. Take it how it resonates. All right, so on the shadow side, the card represents a breakthrough is coming, more powerful than you imagine or dare to hope. Everything is falling into place. Harmony is being restored. Your task now is to receive the flowing blessings with a thankful heart. And when you heed the calling of your higher self, you can expect miracles, okay? So I don't know what someone feels down and out about, if this is you or someone else, but someone feels down and out about a choice that they made. And they're starting to realize that they made a bad choice when it comes to you or this. Whatever this is that they chose to do otherwise did not bring them in the results they were expecting to receive. They were expecting to receive a big payout or something like that, but the payout they got was not worth whatever they lost in the process of doing so. So they could be grieving the loss of this connection. You could be grieving the loss of this connection. You could need to work on your heart chakra to release whatever this is that you're holding on to, vice versa. But something needs to be released from your energy in order for you to receive whatever this is, okay? The Six of Pentacles on the shadow side talks about your higher self is tapped into a noble intention now, and all should flow smoothly. So work with experts or a team to find the best way to use your resources for the greater good. If you are the one in need of assistance, there are people in power who are ready to help and support your endeavor. All the elements are coming together in the proper order to assist you. All right. So whatever you need help with, there's somebody out there that's going to be willing to help you or support you in whatever this new endeavor may be you're doing right now. If you feel like you don't have enough resources to get whatever this is you're working on off the ground, you have resources around you that you haven't tapped into yet. For some of you, this could be new powers or gifts that you haven't tapped into yet, that you're going to receive very soon. But it's almost like before you receive this help you need, you have to be able to accept it first. Something like you have to be open to it first, right? Take it how it resonates. The Empress on the shadow side. All right, moving on. The Empress on the shadow side talks about someone who could be also, again, turning away from a situation. But it also says that the abundance the Empress gives so generously is still indicated on this side of the card. But it is tempted with a message to also think toward the future. This card is saying that someone here needs to take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture as well as the present moment. If you want your happiness to last, take it seriously. Gratefulness is the door through which all happiness can enter. So again, in order for this to come in, something has to be, or you have to be open to receive it. So it's like you're so used to giving yourself or doing everything by yourself that you don't know how to receive when it's time to receive. And I feel like sometimes you may miss out on opportunities because either you don't ask for help when you need it, or when help is present for you, you don't accept it, or when it's offered to you, you don't know if you can trust the offer or not. So you kind of question the intentions of other people when they're offering to help you, because you don't know if everyone that's wanting to help you is trying to help you to be nice or generous, or if they're trying to help you in order to control or manipulate you. So you're having to learn how to use your discernment, it feels, to discern the energy of the people around you so you can know who you can trust or, give your energy to in the future. You know what I mean? So you're learning how to discern the energy of people around you going forward so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you're the only one that's pouring into that situation again. All right? So the last card is the Knight of Swords energy. So we're going to look at that really quick, and then we're going to clarify the rest of this reading. All right, so the Knight of Swords is talking about fast moving energy. This could also be someone traveling towards you rather quickly or moving towards you in a way that comes across very aggressively. Like, for example, they don't want to miss their opportunity with you. So they're trying to come in as quick as possible to avoid missing this opportunity with you. Again, the devil is not paying attention right now to what's going on. They're being distracted by somebody else. So while someone else is being distracted with doing something else, someone's trying to escape something here without doing the shadow work. So this is the person that's trying to avoid doing the shadow work they're talking about, collective. You're the one that's already done the shadow work in the situation, right? You've completely healed from the situation, right? But this person's trying to sneak back in. They're not trying to come in the right way or something. This represents the outer self of someone, okay? Someone outside of your energy, okay? This card says that this is a person who puts emotional concerns in the back seat, which is why we can't see his face. His face impulses is always to argue and to rush into take over an endeavor, certain that he knows what's best. So this is someone who feels like they know it all, right? But they don't know shit, basically. And it's like, this is a person who puts emotional concerns in the back seat, which is why you can't see their face right now. Their face impulse is always to argue or to rush into a situation to take over. His horse symbolizes a barely tamed nature, still wildly impulsive. Until he learns control, he could never be a danger to himself or others, or he could be a danger to himself and or others. He is a fighter and not a lover. So, fighter energy. This is a fighter, not a lover. This is the person they're speaking to that's avoiding the shadow work, who doesn't want to do the shadow work. They rather fight and argue or whatever this is, then do the shadow work. So that's why you turned your back on the situation, because you're fighting with someone, or you're fighting with a person who doesn't want to do the shadow work. And you're not fighting with this person anymore because you know that without them doing their shadow work, you can't trust this person. Because as soon as you turn your back on someone like this, they will be the first one to put a knife in your back behind you. So you're right to be cautious with this energy. You're right to follow your intuition about the situation, because for someone here, you're being guided away from the situation to avoid whatever this person is trying to do to you. Okay? Take it how it resonates. Let's move on. What else is going on in this reading for my collective highest good? You're about to come into a lot of money, collective. You're about to be very successful. Something you've done is going to pay off. This is somebody who's trying to run away from their karma. This person is trying to run from their karma back to you so that you can bless them with your abundance coming in. Protect your peace. This person here is guilty as charged, and you have triggered their abandonment wounds. So stop being a mother or a father to grown people when you got kids of your own. So this is somebody who's trying to run from their karma and not do their own shadow work here that you're being protected from. So they're asking you to stop giving to the situation right now, because you constantly giving this person your energy is not going to help them do the work they need to do to work on themselves. So basically you're being removed from them so they can be forced into doing their own shadow work. This person has low self-esteem or low self-worth. This could be a twins, or you could be a twin. This person's trying to rejoice and celebrate with you. This could be a same-sex relationship for some of you. Take it how it resonates, all right? But you are a prophet of the Most High, and this person could be calling you from fake numbers or using a fake profile to stalk you on social media. All right, take it how it resonates. But the stars are aligning for you, collective. You've done your shadow work. You broke free from the matrix. You're no longer bound to anyone or anything. You're free to move forward. You have called judgment on the situation, and you freed yourself from the situation. All right. You have great expectations, or there were great expectations for you and this person, but they failed their assignment. Take it how it resonates. They could be going through mental conflict or illnesses. They could be suffering with mental illness. Take it how it resonates. And when you're called to leave a situation, the Most High will make a way. So some of y'all are being called to leave something behind, you or this person, okay? If you're ready, the Most High is going to bless you and give you the things you need to move forward. You will never be forsaken, okay? So call judgment on the situation. Remove your energy from this person, place, or thing. Get yourself far away, as far away as you can from the situation, because the Most High is trying to bless you with more, all right? You just won a spiritual battle. You can rejoice and celebrate, okay? Slow down, rest, recover, and relax, okay? So someone here was very superficial. They had a lot of high self-esteem, but low self-worth. This person was very deceitful, and they had shallow emotions, very low vibrational. So the reason why someone is being removed from your energy is because they need to do their own shadow work, okay? I feel like the more you try to pour into the situation, the more powerless you become. So call back your energy now from the situation and protect your peace at all costs. If you're ready to go to battle with this person and you feel like you got to do this to get your results, then do what you got to do to protect your peace, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about you, okay? It's not about them. Playtime is over, okay? This is either going to be a karmic test, collective energy, or divine union. Again, choose wisely. All right? Make a wise choice here. All right? Yeah. So that's the reading that I have for the collective energy. Take it how it resonates. Let's close this out with a guided message from your higher self. We have a kingdom spouse coming in. This person could have fumbled the bag. They thought this third party was their soulmate. Failure is not an option. Stay on track. Stay on path. Stay focused. Failure is not an option. Spell work that play in reverse. So that's being reversed. Take it how it resonates. In the last stage, it's going to be many false prophets, and a lot of them will use gifts to deceive the masses. Don't you be one of them, all right? So, yeah. Take it how it resonates. I'm just a messenger. Anything else from this collective reading for the highest good of the collective before we close it out? Wow. I flipped over. This card says that's enough. This card says no more selfless acts, collective. No more selfless acts, collective. No more sacrificing yourself for other people who wouldn't sacrifice themselves for you. All right? No more selfish acts. Be grateful and show gratitude. Somebody here is a slave master. Somebody here, they're being blocked from receiving downloads or information that they need to remind them of who they are. So this is someone who is being reminded of who they are. Somebody was bound to something or captured or connected to someone who was feeding off of your energy, right? And because of the trauma bond that was created here, it caused some type of block in your intuition that was blocking you from receiving information or downloads that you needed to remind you of who you are. So someone here was trying to block your intuition to keep you from receiving downloads that you needed to remind you of who you are. This could be this person as well. Somebody's trying to block their intuition to stop them from receiving downloads they need to remind them of who they are. No man knows the day or the hour, not even your guides or your spirit, not even your angels or spirit guides. Only the Most High knows the day or the hour, all right? I don't want to play with you anymore. Spiritual status bound by magic or spell work. They broke an oath or dishonorably discharged, okay? So somebody here did not hold up their end of the bargain. Like it started off talking about being bargain or compromise. Somebody who was compromised by the enemy, they didn't hold the end of the bargain. They chose the darkness over the light. Take it how it resonates. And now they're spiritually bound by dark magic and spell work. Okay? So that's their energy. Your energy seems to be clear. And you seem to be free of all karmic ties or soul ties from karmic past people. All right? So take it how it resonates. Be mindful that you do have people around you trying to get back in. I don't know if Mercury got an appointment to get her braids done again, but Mercury could be going in retrograde very soon, which is going to bring a lot of old past energy. But leave the past behind and remove your energy from the situation and let your spirit guides or your source of power you call on for help deal with the situation for you, okay? Don't get your hands dirty dealing with this mess, okay, is what I'm getting, okay? Love and light to y'all. Namaste.